Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Hope that you're doing well. It's a beautiful day out in my neighborhood. Hope the same for you. Hope that your families are well. It's really just a great time to be able to spend with you and be able to come out here and talk data science, right? That's really what the whole purpose of us getting together, of building this community. So really glad that you're here. Really glad that you're um, investing the time to spend with me and also learn in your own career. So really happy about that. So I'm getting a lot of new followers. As always, it's an incredible period of growth right now. So really grateful for all of you that might be tuning in for your first time. And I'm also grateful for my regulars who have been here, and some of you have been with me from the very beginning, which is also fantastic. So thank you so much for that. But for the new people, I do run my live streams in a particular way. I do ask people to participate in our global roll call, and that's where I invite you to introduce. Just let us know the city, state, province, country that you're from. Just let us know where you're at in the world, because I think it helps build the community, and it's also a nice, convenient way for everyone to participate. On top of that, I also like to start off with an opening note where I might share some thoughts with you about, just general data science topics, or maybe even some non-data science topics. Who knows? Just different things that I'd like to share with you, just to kind of, drop some thoughts in your brain, see if anything resonates with you. And if something does, you're welcome to, reply and, give me your thoughts on it in the comments, or maybe you want to think about it and send me a message later, or maybe you want to participate on our Discord later with some of those questions. It's really up to you. And speaking of the Discord, I have gone ahead and pinned that in the chat. So no matter what platform you're on, you should find a link to the Discord in your chats. So you're also welcome to join me there and just share your thoughts. I get people who maybe want to talk beyond the streams or have other questions. The Discord community is a great place to do that. Okay. So I'm already seeing some people filling up my chat, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So again, if you're joining us a little bit late, please introduce yourself by letting us know your city, state, country, province, and it's a nice way for you to participate, right? So for my opening note today, I'm gonna pull again from the questions that I've been getting on my Monday posting. So on Mondays, I usually post on my Instagram and I say, hey, if you ask me a good question, I promise to give you a video reply. And I've gotten some really, really good questions this week. Some of them that really made me think quite a bit. So for example, yesterday I spoke about the one where somebody was talking about, well, how do I know that data science is not for me? Like, I'm trying it, maybe it's not feeling right. So that's an excellent question and very difficult for me to answer in a 60-second reply on Instagram. And another one that I received that was very similar was asking about, well, what about Python? How much Python do I really need to become a data scientist? And I thought that was a really interesting question too. And I think some of you in the chat might also be debating that. So the challenge with that is that there really is no quantitative measure that I can give you, right? That doesn't really exist. On top of that, there's really no nationally or internationally recognized certification for Python, right? Like if you were a C# developer or something, that like Microsoft has, highly recognized certifications. Nothing exists like that for Python, right? So it's really kind of a complex question because there is no measure alone, right? And really, the real answer, and the one that I shared, that I really would like to talk about more, so if you guys have questions on this is a topic I would love to talk about more, is that I'm not sure that Python skills are really going to matter in the future. I think the need is going to significantly decrease in the future. The way I view myself is that now I'm a data scientist that when somebody hires me or somebody, gives me a position or a client or a consulting contract, they're hiring me, but they're also hiring my employee, ChatGPT. I have an employee now, and their name is ChatGPT. So to me, the programming skills, the literal coding of programming is going to be a trivial task in the future. The skill is going to be or rather my skill, the skill that I bring, will be in the designing and the understanding of the algorithms and the system. It won't be, well, how good of a Python coder are you? So that's kind of something where, it's a difficult question to answer, because I could tell you, well, I want to see you take all these advanced Python courses. But at the same time, I also see those as being unnecessary in as little as 1 to 2 years. Right? I really see those as being unnecessary in the fairly near future. So it's a tough question when you think about it, because if I was brand new to Python, I would make sure that I would be investing at least equal time, if not more of an imbalance, into my prompting skills than my coding skills. You're significantly better off understanding the design of data science systems, or business courses, or data science architecture. Like project architecture, not hardware architecture. You are significantly better off investing time analyzing that than you are designing methods and functions and different calls like that, right? So it's an interesting question, because I think that type of question really illustrates exactly how interesting times we are currently living in. Do not ignore the rise of AI in your learning path, or even in your practice path, right? Because I've also talked about this blank screen effect, where, if you're starting a project from a blank screen and you're sitting there typing out your code from a blank screen, that's unnecessary nowadays. It's simply not needed anymore, right? So it's an interesting question, because we should all be paying attention to those changes and how fast those changes will come, because obviously there's still more changes to come. New tools will come to the forefront, the existing tools will improve, so on and so forth. So interesting times we live in, but definitely do not sacrifice time learning the nitty-gritty code versus working on your prompting skills. I think you're gonna find value in doing at least a 50-50 split, if not more. All right, so that's it for the opening note. Let me know if that sparked any thoughts in you in the comments, please. All right, so I'm seeing my chat already filled up. Again, if you're just joining us, please let us know your city, state, province. Love to hear from where people are from. I love traveling, been fortunate to travel all over the world, so I love seeing the people that I'm reaching. So let me go ahead and start here. So starting from the very top, Abhay Nath Pandi. Abhay, I think it's your first time. Let us know where you're from, Abhay. Rex, hey Rex, good morning. Rex says, hi everyone, this is Rex from New York City. Rex, such a wonderful, consistent supporter. Thank you so much, Rex. And Rex is also one of our moderators, so thank you for that. Speaking of moderators, Joseph, also a great supporter. Happy Wednesday, Dennis, and all. Beautiful day here too. Hello from Tennessee. Nice, welcome, Joseph. Yeah, guys, so Joseph and Rex are my volunteer moderators. If you see them, please give them a shout out. They really help me out. Yassine, our good friend Yassine from Tangier, Morocco. Hey Yassine, how are you? Hope you're doing well out there. Do you get out to the beach out there much, Yassine? I hope you do. They got beautiful beaches out there in Tangier. I loved going to the beach there. Beautiful part of Morocco. Mitchie 3192. I'm tempted to say this is your first time, Mitchie. If so, welcome. Hi Dennis, watching from Dublin, Ireland. Very cool. I get quite a few viewers from Western Europe. I'm trying to think. I get a lot of viewers from the UK and Germany. Those are my top two Western European countries in my analytics. So welcome, and nice to see people from Ireland. Rohit says, hey Dennis, I'm a data analyst from India. Nice, welcome Rohit, welcome. Fatima, another good friend from Morocco says, "Hey, sir. Hey, Fatima. I hope you're doing well and you're doing well with your studies out there." So, Fatima, do you also go to university in Meekness, or do you only, or is that just where you're from? Let us know. Bisma, hello there. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Bisma, welcome back. Bisma, remind us where you're from. I know it's not your first time, but I can't remember where you're from. Let us know. Anise, thank you for being a great supporter. Hello, everyone. Hello, Dennis. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Yeah, having a pretty good day. It's a beautiful day outside. Yesterday wasn't too hot. It's not windy today. So yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. Beautiful weather out today. I might actually try to get out and do some walking today. Gotta work on my walking some more. Maybe I'll take my dog to the park later and we'll do some walking in the park. We'll see. But yeah, it's a good day. Thank you so much. Is it Llama? We're gonna say Llama for now, from Dallas, Texas. What part of Dallas? I used to live in Dallas. I lived in Dallas for about 2 years, right before the pandemic. So let us know what part of Dallas, Llama. All right, so again, if you're just joining us, please let me know your city, state, province, country. Just let us know where you're from. Nice, easy way to participate. Would love to know more about you. Rohit is asking a fantastic question. What will be the future of SQL? Will it be the same as Python? Rohit, let me know a little bit more about what you mean by that. Do you mean the same as Python as like what I just described? Like, like AI, like the AI role in SQL, or what exactly do you mean? Help me understand that, please, okay? Just give me a little more information, but I have a couple answers for you, but a good scientist always validates assumptions, right? So give me just a little bit more information on what you mean by that, please. Rahul, our good friend Rahul says, "Hey Dennis, how are you?" I'm doing good, Rahul. Rahul, I thought about you the other day. Because I was watching TikTok, and you know how on TikTok, like once you like one video, like it shows you like similar videos. So I happened to like a video from a content creator who does restaurants in my city, because I live in a city with a ton of restaurants. So now I'm getting all these restaurant reviews, and they were reviewing a restaurant that was Indian, but specifically from northern India. So I think you told me that you are also in northern India. So it made me wonder like how unique that food was to the rest of India, right? Because obviously I know all the like the standard, like I don't want like Americanized India dishes, right? But then when I was in Dallas, we went to my friends would take me to a restaurant that specialized in food from, I think it was from Bombay. Yeah, it was from Bombay. But it made me wonder what the food was like in northern India. So maybe you'll have to tell me about that sometime, Rahul. But I'm tempted to visit that restaurant. Fatima says, yes, exactly. It's in Meekness. Okay, so you both live and study in Meekness. Okay, good to know. Thanks, Fatima. Meekness is a beautiful city. Okay, so Rohit clarifies, yes, I am referring to the AI role in SQL. Yeah, that's a fantastic question, Rohit. So I'm gonna take a little risk here. I'm gonna take a little risk, and I'm gonna say that I see a future where SQL coding from us as humans will be completely eliminated in the future. I'm gonna say 3 to 4 years, maybe less. Here's why I say that. If you look at some of the tools that ChatGPT is putting out there for data analysis, they're not bad. And I've spoken about this before about, if you really want to look at where AI is headed with data science, some of the AI tools out there are kind of doing exploratory data analysis, EDA, for you. So, if they can do EDA, right? And by the way, just to clarify, just to add to that, I did say that of all the methodology stages in the data science process, I think EDA is the highest or the most likely to be completely replaced by AI, right? I see a future where we as data scientists, as the humans, will never have to do EDA again, right? It'll be an automated process. So if you look at that and you look at how advanced that is, how far is that from writing like fairly complex SQL queries? Presumably in the background, the algorithms are already doing that, right? Or for the EDA side, I mean. So Rohit, I see a future where maybe we won't need SQL. And I do want to kind of hedge that a little bit. I'm saying we won't need SQL as a data scientist. But if you're like a DBA, like an SQL DBA, you would still need it, right? And the additional DBA skills, right? Because there's a massive difference between being like a SQL Server administrator versus a data scientist who uses SQL Server, right? I think we all know that. So, but yeah, I'm speaking from us as data scientists. I could see how SQL is something that we won't have to write in the future. You know? I mean, and I'm also saying that based on my experience or what I've seen from ChatGPT in like these scripting languages or like these standard languages. I don't know what the exact term is, right? But if you look at what ChatGPT is doing with like CSS, or if you see what it's doing with HTML, right? Chat, if I'm an HTML or CSS developer, I'm pretty worried right now. Like, have you seen how advanced ChatGPT is with CSS and HTML? You can get a lot done in that, in ChatGPT, right? So how far away is SQL from that? You know, SQL, it's not a compiled language, you know, it's text-based. We've already seen that, you know, algorithms can learn the nature of your data, right? You know, you give it a table and it'll understand the table, right? So, you know, I think, you know, if you were to go down the list, right? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you know, what's the fourth language or fourth task that AI could tackle, could solve, right? Could it be SQL? Yeah. I can see that, right? I could see that happening. So yeah, Rohit, great question. But yeah. I think if you're an SQL developer, right? I think you should start, you know, seeing what prompting skills you're going to need from that. You're going to need a data set, right? You need to add to the context of the AI, right? Add the data set, give it as a context and say, okay, using the data set I just gave you, I need this query, right? Do I see that as a solvable problem by AI in the near future? Yeah, sure. I could see that. So great question, Rohit. I love where your line of thinking is with that, because we should all be thinking about things like that. I mean, like I said, right now, if I'm an HTML or CSS developer or JavaScript developer, right? I mean, if you meet someone who isn't paying attention to that, that's somebody who's going to be out of business very, very soon, right? So yeah, I could see that, Rohit. Great question. Love the question. All right, so Rahul tells me, yes, I know even most Indians don't know about North Indian dishes. I can tell you my favorites. It's babru and sidhu. Okay, cool. I'm gonna look those up on this menu because I think I saved the restaurant. But yeah, I'm curious to try like, you know, different dishes from India because I like spicy food, right? And I like Indian spicy food because it actually tastes like something, right? You get all these spices and all these flavors. You know, sometimes you go to a restaurant and you get spicy food and it's just like it's just like a punch in the mouth, right? There's no taste, right? So I love the Indian food because at least you're tasting something good, right? When it's spicy. All right, so babru and sidhu. I'm gonna look those up, Rahul. Thanks so much for that. All right, guys, so if you're joining us late, please let us know your city, state, province, country. Just introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from and anything else you feel like sharing with us, because we like to keep this a global chat and keep it an inclusive community. And, you know, it's just good for you to participate. And also, like I said, guys, I ask people to introduce themselves because how you carry yourself, how you communicate is super important in data science. You're going to be trying to sell people on your ideas, on your algorithms, on your process. So practicing that is super important because it's a sales job. A lot of data science is a sales job. So it's important for you to practice that. So that's why I ask people to do it. Rex asks, do you find that data scientists work better from home or at the office? Share your thoughts on Amazon asking people to come back to the office. Oh yeah, that's a huge one, eh guys? So I don't know. So in case you haven't seen it, Rex is referring to the recent mandate that Amazon is now asking everyone to return to the office. Obviously a huge ask for people that have been working from home. So Rex, I actually mentioned this in my book because I know it's not a popular opinion, but I do think that the earlier you are in your career, the more important it is for you to be in the office. As I've said in some of my other content before, data science is one of those professions that requires essentially the more experienced people, the senior people, to help the junior people. You as a junior are not going to know everything you need to know coming out of school. On top of that, you need the in-office time to build the relationships with the stakeholders. Because remember, the stakeholders is ultimately who you work for. You don't work for your lead data scientist, you work for the stakeholders, right? So that's very, very difficult to do as a remote job. So I find it the more valuable to be there the earlier you are in your career. Super valuable. So I know it's not popular, but Rex, the answer to your question is that I do find that it's better for people to be in the office. Now also, if you carry that forward, well, what good is it for you as the junior to be in the office if the seniors aren't in the office, right? So in a way, it's also beneficial for the seniors to be in the office, right? It's kind of like one follows the other, right? But yeah, but I am a fan of that, Rex. I know it's not popular, but I think that's the way it is. Yeah, and then as far as Amazon specifically, it's just the way the world is going, guys. It looks like working from home, working remotely is kind of done, right? So it's time to either start your own business or, I don't know, do something else. Do something where you really enjoy going in, I guess. But yeah, it's just the way it is now, for better or worse. In the mountain regions, priority is fat and carbs. For protein, we have wild animals. Okay, cool. Thank you for that, Rahul. I'm gonna keep that in mind when I look at that menu because I don't like a lot of carbs. So we'll see. Ashish, our good friend Ashish says, "Hey Dennis, this is Ashish from India. Glad to see you again. Glad to see you too. Welcome back. I am getting a lot of rejections from different companies from the data scientist role. Can you review my resume?" I sometimes offer resume reviews. If you want, send me a message on Instagram. I sometimes do resume reviews in selected situations. But look, I'll give you a couple of resources here. Because and I do this because I never ask somebody to pay for a service unless I give them a free offering, right? That way they can choose. So, one, I have a video on how to write a resume. I show you how to do a format of a resume. Okay. 2, you got to be scientific about this, right? when you say you're getting rejections, that doesn't really help me. It doesn't really help you, right? So again, let's be scientists. Let's be quantitative about this. There's two things you should be tracking. One, you're sending out your resume. Are you getting callbacks from that? What's your conversion rate of sending out resumes and getting callbacks and landing the interviews? Right? Super important metric to know. And the second metric is, okay, you got to the interview stage. How many of those interviews are you converting to second interviews, third interviews, or a job, right? I mean, that's really what your job search is. You can't just say, well, I'm being rejected. Well, how are you being rejected? Those are two types of rejections, completely distinct types of rejection, right? You know, I'm sharing this with you because, I hope everyone in the chat, this is the data-driven mindset, right? I mean, you guys should be thinking like this. Then, you're scientists, right? So apply some of that, right? All right, so the first conversion means that you should probably review your resume, right? Because your resume isn't attracting enough attention where a recruiter picks up the phone and calls you, or HR picks up the phone and calls you. So are there things in your resume that aren't laid out clearly or that need adjustments, right? And then the second conversion means leave your resume alone. Your resume is working, but now you need to look at your interviewing skills. How you're doing in those interviews. And so if you look at my video on jobs, you're not ready to interview. I don't think you're ready to interview unless you have 3 well-written articles that you wrote on studies that you owned end to end. Like if you don't have that, then I can guarantee you that's why you're being rejected. And, if you do it, I think that you'll see a much greater level of success. So you got to be looking at it that way, right? And also I forgot to mention that on the resume side, another part that I say is you should have 3 people who love you enough to tell you that your resume stinks, review your resume, and give you a very honest assessment about it. I mean, that's really what's going to help you, right? You got to have an honest assessment of your resume. Does the resume work? Yes or no? And then 2, if it does work, if you are getting those interviews, but you're not moving beyond the interviews, then what do you 1, are you walking in with the right preparation? And 2, what do you need to adjust in your interviews? I'm not gonna name any names, but I recently had somebody on Instagram send me a message, and they told me how they were getting rejected from interviews from the they were making it to interviews, right? That they were getting rejected. And I can't remember if he said that he sought somebody, or he said that he talked to one of the interviewers like much later, or and he talked about how he kind of pressed the interviewer like, well, why didn't you hire me? He asked for the feedback, which is a great idea, by the way. And the interviewer told him and said, you could have presented yourself a little better. You could have used a little bit more manners. You could have communicated a little better, right? The interviewer was honest enough to tell him that, which is rare but great. And that's the type of feedback that is valuable, right? Because the answer isn't always in your resume, guys. The answer isn't always in the algorithms. The answer isn't always, well, they didn't like my last position. Well, maybe you have bad manners. I mean, who's to say that you don't have bad manners, right? I mean, these things are important. People notice these things. I've hired plenty of people in my life. I mean, I see when people say please and thank you and how they communicate, right? So, there's a lot of things you can work on there. So, Ashish, I don't know if you want to share more details. It's up to you. This is all kind of personal stuff, but a lot goes into it. A lot goes into it. And I also do, if you approach me nicely, I will do mock interviews. Those aren't my favorite to do, but sometimes I will do those. But, how you present yourself and how you carry yourself is super important. Right? So something to think about there, okay? Rahul, it's Wednesday and you're already asking me about Sunday, man. So Rahul says, what are your thoughts about next tutorial on Sunday? What would we be experimenting about? All right. So in case you guys don't know, what Rahul is referring to is on Sundays, I'd like to do a little different type of class. A different type of live stream. And it's usually a class. So what we like to do is I like to do something where it's an instructional and I do it live. Sometimes things go right, sometimes things go wrong. Who knows? But I just do them on Sundays, and you know what? They've all been a good time. You can find them on my YouTube channel, by the way. But we did an entire series on the Introduction to Statistical Learning book. We also did, last week, we did something on GPU versus CPU, and we had a great time. Last Sunday was a really fun stream, guys. I know that people like Fatima, Rex, Rahul, who else was there? I'm sorry if I'm forgetting you, but a couple of people in today's chat were there on Sunday, and it was a good time. We had a good time. But yeah, you know what, Rahul? Part of the reason those are fun for me is one, I do them live, right? I'm never going to record that type of content. And two, I'm spontaneous about it. So if I'm being honest with you, I have no idea what I'm going to do this Sunday. I may come up with it later today. I may come up with it Saturday night. I literally do not know. That's what makes it fun for me, right? So who knows? If you have ideas, let me know in the chats or send me a comment or send me a DM. But I like to keep it spontaneous. I like to keep it live. I mean, look, guys, coming back to the AI discussion, like, I think that I'll speak for myself, and maybe you'll feel this way too, but I feel so freed up to come up with any more number of ideas now because of the AI tools. Like, I really think that anything I can think about to do, anything that has to do with coding now is like trivial. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, it can be written, right? Like, I may not know exactly how to write it from scratch, but who cares? Like, I have an employee. My employee is ChatGPT, right? So it makes me feel a little bit more spontaneous in that because I know that the coding side is trivial. It's more about just the idea and the architecture, right? So like, for example, this past Sunday, I literally did not know if it would work. And I told that to people. I said, this stream might be 15 minutes long if ChatGPT tells us that, we can't access the GPU. Like, but you can do that now, right? You can have like that risk taking because AI is, good enough, right? It's not perfect, but it's good enough to get you to like, a pretty good base level, right? So yeah, Rahul, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm going to do. We'll see. Rahul says mock interview series would be dope. I don't know if I'm feeling that one, Rahul. I don't know if I'm feeling that one. I mean, like I said, if you ask me nicely, I'll do a mock interview. But as a series, as a live series on a Sunday, I don't know if I'm feeling that. Yeah, I'm not feeling that one, Rahul. Sorry. Maybe later. Who knows? Leo says, good morning, folks. Late but here. Leo, come on, man. Leo, aren't you the same guy that was claiming to be from Morocco? Come on, people from Morocco are here on time, Leo. Rahul says, Leo, where's the clock? I know, right? Rahul, I'm just like you. I'm not mad at Leo, but I am disappointed. Manoj says, good morning, Dennis and all. Good morning, Manoj. Hope you're well out there in India. Leo says, sorry, boss. Hey, I'm not the boss. Rahul is the boss here. Right, Rahul? Yeah, so we'll see what we do Sunday. We'll see. You know, life is full of mystery and wonder, right? So who knows what we'll be doing? I literally have no idea. Yeah, if you guys have, different things you'd want to explore, let me know. But Rahul, I don't know if I'm feeling things around jobs for Sundays. I think it'd be more instructional on Sundays. I have a series in mind. I have this massive series in mind that I want to do with everybody. The way I've kind of architected out, it's going to be like a 20-part series, which is a lot for a Sunday, right? To only do it once a week. That would be like half the year, right? So I've considered doing it during these live streams, to have a series during these live streams. So give me some feedback on that, guys. What would you guys think about doing a live stream during a series of live streams, but like during the week like this? Like every day of the live stream, it would be the same topic or the same series, like over 20 days or like over a month, let's say. Give me some feedback on that, guys. Because the challenge too also is that when I do my series, they're at least 2 hours, right? Like when I do an instructional. When I do streams, it's about like an hour, hour and a half, depending on how I'm feeling, right? Because these streams take a lot out of me, believe it or not. So I have like a 20-part series I want to do. It's great for Sundays because I can go as long as I need to, but then that's 20 Sundays, right? That's a lot. So I don't know. Let me know in the chat. What would you guys think if every single day it was a series on like the same, like on the similar topic? I know I'm being vague. I know I'm not telling the series, but a magician can't always reveal his secrets, right? So let me know what you guys think about that. But I do have a really good series in mind. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Rahul says, Leonardo, this is the first warning. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, write him up, Rahul. Put him in the book. Rahul says, yeah, Dennis, no problem. I can't mine diamonds all the time. It's sometimes just cool. That's funny. That's right. India does have a huge diamond trade, doesn't it? Yeah. Rahul says, can you elaborate more? Yeah, okay. You know what, Rahul? I am going to elaborate more. So give me some, okay, I'm going to elaborate more, but you guys have to give me some feedback in the chat, okay? So I have this series in my head, and I've written it down. Like I said, I have like 20 parts to it. It's a pretty long series. So I have this series in my head where, as a chat, we are going to create an entire project from beginning to end. So I'm going to take you from like the planning, the ideation, the Scrum management, the Agile management, right? And then the design of the solution, like the solution design, and then actually carrying out the code. So part of that will be me showing you like how it's done at the big companies, and then also incorporating AI into it, right? Because, you know, when we get to like the solution design and like the coding, we're not going to do any of that, right? And ChatGPT will do that, right? But I want to go from beginning to end on how to do everything. Like, I'm going to take you through an entire project. So like the first portion of it is going to be like zero coding, right? Because I'm literally going to walk you through how we sit in a corporate meeting and say, hey, this is what we want to solve. What is your plan for this? And then we'll do that. And then we'll do the agile planning. I'm going to show you how we did agile. I learned a ton about agile when I was at IBM. That's probably one of the biggest things I'm grateful for at IBM. You know, I really learned how to do agile at IBM. So I'm going to show you how that's done. And then I'm going to take you okay, so now that you have your agile plan, how do you take that and work to develop a solution, and then to architect the solution, and then to actually carry out the solution? So to me, that's like a 20-week series, 15, 20-week series. So, like, do you guys want to do that every day? Maybe, maybe not. Do you want to do that for 20 Sundays? Maybe, maybe not, right? I don't know. Give me some feedback. But I've had that series brewing in my head. I think it'll be really fantastic. But yeah, we'll see. All right, so give me some feedback, guys. I'm already seeing some feedback. Leo says, I think the audience engagement could be affected. People who find out about you when you're on your 10th episode, a lot to catch up. Yeah, Leo, you're right about that. You're right about that. To Leo's point, if I were to do this daily, the episodes would rack up quickly, right? So somebody who wants to catch up would have to like binge watch like a lot of episodes to keep. I mean, maybe they even couldn't catch up at some point, right? Because, you know, by the time they binge watch everything, there was like 4 new ones, right? So who knows? Yassine says, I think it will be awesome. And I have a question. Does it have to be either just Sundays or all days? Maybe we can do some adjustments. What kind of adjustments, Yassine? Like, are you saying that you want to do it one day, but you want to change it from Sundays? Let me know. Rahul says, yeah, I'm intrigued by just thinking about brainstorming with fellow chat. It seems great fun. Yeah, like there'd be a lot of participation, but at the same time, there'd be a lot of teaching in it. Because like, for example, yesterday, or when was it? I mean, I think it was just yesterday, right? When somebody asked about Agile and Scrum. And, you know, clearly some people didn't know about Agile and Scrum, right? Or on Sunday, when we were working in environments, you know, like the Conda environments, clearly people didn't know what Conda environments are, right? They were like, whoa, what is this? What are we looking at? Right? So, yeah, it'd be cool to go back and forth, Rahul, but at the same time, like it's still going to be an instructional on my part, right? So yeah, it's going to be a mix of both, Rahul. But Rahul, you know this, right? Because you've been in the Sunday classes plenty. So, you know, it's a mix of skills, right? So I'm going to have to kind of adjust to the skills, right? Yassine says, I personally admire the idea very much. Okay, cool. Thanks. Rahul says, brew it fast. I can't wait. Hey, check it is, man. Check it is. Good things take time, you know? Guys, if I were to show you my notebook, you would find like hundreds of ideas. But the way I work is, you know, I write down the idea, I think about it, I go for a walk, I play with my dog, I come back to the idea. Oh, that totally sucked. Let me erase that. Or, hey, let me add that. Like, you gotta, you know, check it is, man. Check it is. Anise says, that's brilliant, Dennis. Maybe 3 times a week would be great, as every day could affect the engagement, especially with daily duties. Yeah, guys, and remember, I agree with Anise here, and my concern also is my tutorials tend to go long, right? I mean, I've never done a tutorial less than 2 hours, right? So, like, Are people going to come for 2 hours every day? Even 3 times a week sounds ambitious, right? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, Yassine says like some number of the days of the week. Yeah, okay. Okay. Fatima says, this is a great idea for Sunday. It will be useful and enjoyable for us. Yeah, I think it will be fun. It's going to be fun for me too, right? Because, you know, it's always fun to do the projects end to end, right? So, yeah, and I haven't done like really good agile planning in a while. And I think it'll be super fun to teach that too. Yeah. Yassine says, like example, 1 day off. Okay. Okay, Yassine, so you're saying do the tutorial every day except for 1 day. Like do it every day, but then Friday we would do something different? Like, is that what you're saying? Let me know. Send me a copy of the idea book. Sure, send me $5,000. Leo says, I think Sunday's a great day for that, or another time, if you will. Yeah, but Leo, but it would also take 20 Sundays, right? Like it'd be like half the year to do this. I think it's like a 15 to 20 episode series, maybe. Right? So yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys want to do the same theme for 20 Sundays? Like it'd be different parts, right? Don't get me wrong. We're not doing the same thing over and over again, right? What do you guys think? Leo says, well, it's not a big deal. Okay, so Leo, sounds like Leo's okay with doing it 20 Sundays in a row. Give me some feedback on that, guys, because that's kind of what's holding me back, right? Like I'm thinking, like, do people really want to do that? Like that many Sundays? I don't know. All right, let me know. Give me some feedback. Manoj says maybe twice a week. Okay. What days, Manoj? Okay, guys. So give me feedback in the chat. We already do tutorial Sunday, and that seems to be a pretty good day. My analytics say a lot of you are online on Sundays, and you know we get great turnout, great participation. So what would be the second day, guys? Sunday, and what else? Yassine says I meant like 1 day on, 1 day off. Okay. Okay, that might work. That might work. Rahul says, I support Yassine. Okay. 1 day, every other day. Okay. Maybe. Fatima says, I also like to add one more session. Okay, Fatima, tell me what day though. What day works for most of you guys? Because Sunday works great. I want to keep that. But what's the other day? Rahul says 4-day series, 3 days catching up. Yeah, that could work. That could work too. That could also work. But let me know what's the alternate to Sunday, guys, or the second day to Sunday, guys. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. And by the way, you know, it's a really easy way to participate if you just want to say, hey, I agree with somebody, right? Give me just a second, guys. I have to sneeze here. Quick camera break here. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, agree with Yassine. Okay. All right. So like every other day. All right. That might be something. So that would make it Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays? Sunday, Tuesday, Thursdays? Yeah, that could work. Yeah, we'll see about that. I think that might work. I kind of like the 2-day schedule too, though, right? Like Sundays and some other day, like, I don't know, Wednesdays and Sundays. But my analytics say that Wednesdays is a slow day for me, so maybe Wednesday isn't a great day. But anyways, guys, those are the types of things that I have working. I have other video series I want to do. I want to do a lot more stuff on data science leadership, right? I think that's another interesting topic. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Life is full of mystery and wonder, so who knows what's up next, guys. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate all of the feedback. If you want to keep on giving me feedback, please let me know. Send me a DM. Would love to hear from you. I'm most active in replying on Instagram, but I am trying to keep up more and more with Twitter because I'm getting a lot of people on Twitter. But let me know anything else. But Rahul says you can add a vote on Discord. Yeah, Rahul, that's a great idea. Thank you so much for that. Excellent idea. But that's where we're headed, guys. We're gonna have some interesting series coming up, and just kind of go from there. See where life takes us, right? But I appreciate all of you spending time with me. I'll see you again tomorrow. I stream every day, 1500 GMT. Really appreciate you and really appreciate the community. So take care of yourselves and take care of your families, and I'll see you next time.